welcome to EDS-Luyện. Today our guest is one of the most special students of EDS Center, Thanh An. Hello Thanh An, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello everyone. My name is Thanh An and I'm 18 years old and come from Vinh City. I have been currently taking up International Year Zero in Business and Management at University of Greenwich International College in the United Kingdom since October 2020.
Before knowing EDS Center, you had never studied the IELTS and you were not familiar with the IELTS test format. So there was a lot of confusion while studying. And I know that you were a special case of EDS Center because you had to wake up at 5 p.m. 5 a.m. right? 5 a.m. in the UK to study English. However, after 4 months studying, finally you got IELTS result much higher than you expected. And as well as your English can be enhanced a lot. So can you share your experience in gaining this success?
Well, honestly, it was such an unforgettable period that I went through with the EDS, great companionship. And to be honest, like I started studying for a GCSE course in the United Kingdom with my limited English proficiency, and that made me encounter many obstacles. And during the course, I was even told that I would most likely fail the GCSE course due to my poor English. And I was so anxious at that time and called my father immediately. And luckily, through his friend recommendation, he know like Mrs. Hang, who is the CEO of the EDS Center, and asked for her urgent help. Shortly thereafter, Mrs. Hang made a detailed roadmap for me to handle study UK, as well as to calculate for my next course in the future. And although my father and I hadn't met Mrs. Hang before, we were completely convinced of her intelligence and possible coordination of my case. And my English and IELTS learning process started at 5 a.m. in the UK or 11 noon in Vietnam. During 2 consecutive months of studying online in the UK and 2.5 months when returning to Vietnam, I passed IELTS with 6.0 overall score and also passed the GCSE course under the very dedicated and effective teaching of EDS teachers. And looking back on that 4.5 months journey, I really had a time of crisis with a range of difficulties for me because I'm a night person. Honestly, like to study IELTS, I had to wake up at 5 a.m. to study. That made me so tired and sleepy as well. And moreover, studying IELTS online was not easy for me due to some barriers that could affect to the study progress, as the network line, the different time zone, the devices, and so on, compared with studying face to face. But thanks to the encouragement of my parents, EDS teacher, and especially Mrs. Hang, I overcame myself and thought things were simpler and more positive, and focused on what I need to do at that time was improving my English as soon as possible and cherishing every moment of time. And my tip to gain such a good achievement is setting up clear targets for myself and pushing myself to reach those targets. In addition, during the process of studying for IELTS, practice is extremely important, and I try my best to practice IELTS skill every single day. More importantly, I always have a positive energy and always think I will be successful in my plans. Those are the secrets that Mrs. Hang always share for us to apply in life.
When you took the exam IELTS, at first your overall was only 5.5 because your speaking test was only 5.0, right? However, you decided to request to verify the speaking test, and finally your overall enhanced to 6.0 overall. So can you share more about this memorable thing, and how did it help you to solve this problem?
Yeah, actually, after getting my IELTS result, I was disappointed with myself because I could not achieve 6.0 overall score as I expected. However, right away, Mrs. Han called me and asked me in detail about a skill that I did in the test. About 15 minutes later, she told me to remark on my result as she adjusted that IDP Center incorrectly scored my IELTS for speaking. Therefore, I decided to request to remark IELTS. And finally, as Mrs. Han affirmed, my speaking skill will change from 5.0 to 5.5 and increase my overall score to 6.0. Until now, it's were amazing for me to listen to Mrs. Han.
You are taking part in the international year zero of internet of the University of Greenwich, and after that you will join in the BA Cons business purchasing and supply of this university. So why did you choose this major and this university for your next 2 years?
Firstly, the main reasons why I chose this major because even though jobs in supply chain area are faced most recently, but it lacks employees, so I'm likely to have high employment opportunities as well as I have a passion for supply chain areas due to my parent job being related to it. And secondly, I decided to study at the University of Greenwich because this is a famous institution in the UK and it's had link in training with some Vietnamese university. So getting a bachelor degree from University of Greenwich could be beneficial for me in the future.
As far as I know, before studying international year zero in University of Greenwich, you took part in a GCSE course of Bells College. However, this course was not appropriate for you, and you had to find another course. So, did you have many challenges while applying for another course, and how did EDS help you in this matter?
The biggest challenge could be about the IELTS test because the entry requirement to apply for another course must have the IELTS certification. As you have mentioned, I had never studied IELTS before, so I got confused and nervous at that time. However, EDS Center helped me get used to the IELTS form and taught me the IELTS test skill with effective learning methods. As a result, I have gained the score expectation and can use it to apply to another course.
You had set a new record at EDS Center, receiving visa approval after 4 months of application submission. And to apply for the visa, you had to have an interview via phone with the embassy. And in the end of 2020, you had to travel to Ho Chi Minh City to have the second interview, right? And the face-to-face interview lasted for 4 hours. And after all your efforts, finally you got the visa approval. I can see that you had to deal with numerous challenges. However, you didn't give up and tried the best to chase the dream of studying abroad. So, how did you overcome this difficulty, and how did EDS help you?
Basically, through the EDS Center advice and support, I was more confident and continued to carefully prepare for the interview with the embassy. And luckily, my visa were approved after the second interview. That's were all effort of the EDS Center and myself as well. And I still remember the morning before coming to VFS Ho Chi Minh to conduct the second interview. Mrs. Hang FaceTime with me and practiced for me in 2 hours. The way she showed me how to answer was really in short and on point, and pushed my fear to disappear quickly. And in a few hours of being corrected my pronunciation by her, I spoke English naturally and clearly as well. Um, Indeed, Mrs. Han has a very special ability to transmit energy. Whenever I and other students talk to her, we believe in ourselves and do seemingly insurmountable things. And as a result, after 3.5 hours of face-to-face interview on VFS with UK VR staffs, I was completely confident in myself. prove my learning purpose clearly as well as my understanding of the course. And after 8 days since the second interview, I was successfully issued a visa to study abroad.
You are studying an online course of international year zero of University of Greenwich, and you achieved an excellent result in the winter term one. And your scores of major subjects are digital literacy and intro to accounting were 93 and 93.5 respectively. So, was it difficult for you to study online, and how could you achieve this successful achievement?
Actually, there has been a range of difficulties while studying online for me. And on top of that, sometimes I did not cut the points in the lectures because of the network, the devices, and so on. I have to email the tutor instead of asking them straightforward to make it clearer and faster. Although studying online is difficult, I always try my best to study, and after each lesson, I often spend time on revising, practicing the topics, and also researching on Google and YouTube to get more knowledge about the lesson and understanding the lesson by myself.
Do you have any plan after graduating? Will you continue to live in the UK and find a job there, or will you come back to Vietnam?
Honestly, if I have a chance to live in the United Kingdom and work there, it will be a pride for my family and myself as well. But however, in my mind, I want to come back to my home country to work and contribute to Vietnam economic growth after graduating.
Finally, do you want to say something to EDS Center as well as young people to inspire them of studying abroad?
I have one thing to say to young people, like just setting clear targets for yourself and trying your best to achieve them. Despite difficulties and challenges would come, do not give up and keep going. So you will achieve this target soon. And about EDS Center, thanks to EDS Center and especially Mrs. Hành, who is CEO of the EDS Center, I'm able to go to the UK to study, and I'm extremely grateful for their enthusiasm and support. Hopefully, EDS Center would more develop and more people would know about this awesome center.